They'll kill me. They'll kill me, Mr. Floyd pleaded as his neck was being crushed into the pavement. According to the New York Times, published July 8, 2020, newly released body cam footage from a Minneapolis police officer shows him answering back to Mr. Floyd. Stop talking, stop talking. It takes a heck of a lot of oxygen to talk. Since the May 25th death of Mr. Floyd, riots and protests have plagued the country, with a voice from our fellow Americans to defund the police. This prompts us to the question, will defunding the police improve or degrade the safety of inner city residents? We will discover how. Today, we will explore first the violent past history of police and in our inner cities. Next, we will see if inner city residents' safety improves or degrades with defunded police departments. And lastly, we will look at the effects of inner city resident safety when they have fully funded police resources. Tragically, our country has experienced many bouts of police violence. According to a Bloomberg article, accessed July 2020, here are a list of significant police brutality victims that many of which you might remember. Rodney King, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, and lastly, Mr. George Floyd. And through this brutality, there has been a sense of awareness that has spread across our nation. The awareness of abuse has enabled the formation of many social justice movements, most notably the BLM movement. According to BlackLivesMatter.com, the organization started in 2013 after the Trayvon Martin incident. BLM advocates to draw attention to fatal police violence as an urgent public health and racial justice problem. We have seen the image of pain and suffering of our failed Americans and their plea to stop what is undoubtedly unfair treatment and abuse. Let us next look at the current cities that have cut back resources to their police departments and how it is affecting the safety of their inner city residents. Is it improving or degrading? Removing police has led to an increased violence from citizens as stated in an article from redstate.com. Access July 2020. Atlanta mayor says, and I quote, "We have had 75 shootings in the city over the past several weeks." You can't blame that on the Atlanta PD. She also states police officers are not shooting people in the streets of Atlanta. These are community members shooting each other. Currently, as Atlanta defunds resources, the inner city residents are experiencing degraded safety. The defund movement is happening throughout our country, most notably with LA and New York, one of the two most prominent cities in our nation. According to the LA Times, LAPD has slashed their budget by 150 billion. And according to the New York Post, the NYPD budget has been slashed by 1 billion, and Mayor de Blasio has effectively halted the anti-crime plainclothes unit that has been completely removed from New York. Reduced policing is not leading to improved safety, and according to the local CBS News Los Angeles, published June 2020, LAPD has experienced a 250% increase in homicides, and victim shot has went up 56%. In Chicago, the Chicago Sun-Times reports that over the weekend of July 4th, there were 79 people that were shot. 15 were fatal. We are seeing degraded safety currently in our inner cities as police resources are being cut back. We are witnessing crime spikes throughout major inner cities in our nation as our inner city police face significant personnel and budget cuts. Next, let's look at police departments prior to the defund movement and how it affects the inner city safety of the residents. The inner cities experience less crime when having more police involved, not less. According to Pew Research, published July 2020, since 1993, violent crime in our country has decreased. A big factor of this is due to cities increasing public safety budgets, like your local police department. Also, a big factor was implementing different police tactics such as broken windows. This tactic, according to Britannica Encyclopedia in 1994, states broken windows is a new policy that increases police enforcement of small crimes, which later helps deter larger crimes. This was implemented by New York in the early 90s and helped them get through major crime spikes. This has led to safer inner cities for residents. Today, we have looked at our troubling past history of police brutality in our country, major inner cities that have begun to cut back on police, and how policing affects our communities. Now let's ask the question again. Will defunding the police improve or degrade the safety of our inner city residents? As we can see, as police resources are being cut back, we can also see the safety of our inner city residents is being degraded. Let's remember those words of Mr. Floyd, those haunting words as he said, "They'll kill me, they'll kill me." But you know what else is haunting? The words of a Chicago inner city resident, a mother who lost her child. She said, I quote, "I'm lifeless. My baby was taken from me." This mother's baby was taken from a stray bullet from a criminal. With the data presented today, we can better understand the implications of how police departments, or lack thereof, can have on the safety of residents in our inner cities.